Hello, Silly Moustache here. I'm going to try to extend on my previous video talking about putting emphasis and feeling and expressing an emotion in a song rather than kind of reciting it, which I see here and there. And I'm going to use the medium of poetry to try and demonstrate that. And I'm thinking back when we were in school and we were told to stand up and recite a poem, and usually we didn't want to. So did you recite poetry like this? Half a league, half a league, half a league onward, all in the valley of Death Road the 600. Forward the light brigade, charge for the guns, he said, into the valley of Death Road the 600. Right? Or did you do it like this? Cannon to the right of them, cannon to the left, cannon in front of them, volleyed and thundered, stormed at with shot and shell, boldly they rode, and well into the jaws of death, into the mouth of hell, rode the 600. Which one captures your imagination more, perhaps? Now I'm going to do a British poem by a gentleman called Roger Mcgough, one of the Liverpool poets, and still a professional poet, bless him, and is one of my favourite poems by him, and it's called Let Me Die a Young Man's Death. Bit late for me, but there we go. Let me die a young man's death, not a clean and in between the sheets holy water death, not a famous last words, peaceful out of breath death. And when I'm 73 and in constant good tumour, may I be mown down at dawn by a bright red sports car on my way home from an all-night party. Or when I'm 91 with silver hair and sitting in a barber's chair, may rival gangsters with ham-fisted Tommy guns burst in and give me a short back and insides. Or when I'm 104 and banned from the cavern, may my mistress, catching me in bed with her daughter and fearing for her son, cut me up into little pieces and throw away every piece but one. Let me die a young man's death, not a free from sin, tiptoe in, candle wax and waiting death, not a curtains drawn by angels born. What a nice way to go, death. This is all about storytelling, remember, in your songs. Now, in 2005, we travelled across the States from California to Texas, and I had the pleasure of staying in Santa Fe and being introduced to a gentleman called Jerry Ferris, F-A-I-R-E-S, and a great songwriter, a great character, and a very significant poet. And this is one of his poems which I think gives an opportunity to put a lot of expression in it. And I'm going to try, as I do with my singing, to adopt a Midwestern accent of some sort. And I'm sure I'll get it wrong. Please correct me down below. But here's a go. He was born outside of Hebronville in early 41. He grew up in the oil camps of Texaco and Son. Just a good old boy from the good old days, living off the land, free, wild, and happy in that hot South Texas land. Daddy was a tool pusher. Mama, she baked pies. Overhead, the Harris hogs and the Red Dale split the tie. Redfish, they ran heavy, and the waters, they ran clear. They mostly lived on cornbread, white-winged dove, and deer. Time changes everything, sang Bob Wills on the radio, but he was tearing up the 2 lanes, so how was he to know that the old days were a-changing? Something new was on the rise. Billy, he was raising hell. Mama, she baked pies. They hunted on the ranches. They fished down at the bay. It was Brother Earl and Daddy. They called him Billy Ray. Daddy loved his pickup truck, his boats, and both his sons. Earl took care of the tackle box. Billy Ray took care of guns. Earl was 18 years at the chemical plant till he died at 42. By the time they found the cancer, there wasn't nothing they could do. Daddy just got old real fast, and the white wings left the sky. Reds got scarce, skates got locked, and Mama, she baked pies. Well, time changes everything, that's what Bob Wills said. Somehow Billy Ray just couldn't get it through his head. The Texas he grew up in began to change before his eyes. And Billy, he kept trying, and Mama, she baked pies. So many changes came so fast he couldn't understand. Commercial fishing stripped the bays. The ranchers cleared the land. The brush was all but disappeared, and the dove stayed in Mexico. Javelina, quail, and white wind didn't have no place to go. Billy took to drinking hard. Just after Daddy died, couldn't seem to hold a job. I don't think he really tried. Raymondville to Goliad, they were always moving on. Just a good old boy from the good old days, whose days had come and gone. Well, time changes everything. That's what old Bob Wills said. Somehow Billy Ray just couldn't get it through his head. Just didn't look like Texas anymore between those skies. Billy just kept getting older, and Mama, she baked pies. Well, they finally moved to Dallas. He's stocking in a Walmart store. Mama watches TV. Billy walks the floor. They never talk about the old days. They never mention Daddy's name. That's all been lost to history, like the fish and birds and game. Time changes everything's what old Bob Wills said. Somehow Billy Ray just couldn't get it through his head. It just didn't look like Texas anymore in Billy's eyes. He just keeps getting sadder. And Mama, she bakes pies. You get the sadness in that? It's all about selling your song, all about drawing your audience into the story. And we can do that a little bit in song as the rain starts to pour down. I'm going to use a part of a song by Eliza Gilkyson, who strangely enough performed with Jerry Ferris for a while, and it's called Coast. Think I'll go down to the coast for a while, find a little cabin by the sea. Think I need to be alone for a while, find out whatever became of me. Did you ever think that it would be like this? Oh, the price you pay for love, oh, the price you pay for everything. There we are. I'm ragging the time in that. Yeah, that's where ragtime comes from. I'm not playing it. Think I'll go down to the coast for a while. You know, it's almost conversational. Think I'll go out for a little drive. Maybe I'll take the long way home. Probably just a bit too tired, but I need some time alone. Right, so there's emotion in this. There's almost stream of consciousness in it, but you're going to be drawing your audience into the story. What are they going to say next? You know, what's going on? What's happening? The same way as a good storyteller, as a good poet, as a good actor. Yeah, it's not a strict rhythm. It's not over acting or overplaying. But people listen to the words if you tell them right. Anyway, I'm going to stop there. I hope that's been of interest. Please let me have your comments below and your corrections to my misreading and my poor accent. And if you have been, thanks for watching. Bye.